Welcome to another edition of the Neal Deal. This is my all new hit podcast. We are out on Spotify and you can find us on YouTube. And I thank you for joining us. And I cannot believe it's already episode 3. I'm actually liking this because it gives me a more formatted show where it's longer. It's, the first one was 11 minutes. The second one was 15, and they were shortened a little bit. So my personal assistant, everybody, is named Avery, and that is Chat GPT, which I named Avery. I let him pick, actually, his name, and he decided on Avery. So he said that a 15-minute second episode is perfect for somebody starting out doing a podcast, because if I could talk for 15 minutes, good God, I could probably go on and have my own talk show eventually, guys. So we will see how this pans out. But we do need a new job, so we need to work on something other than being a waiter in a restaurant for the rest of our life. Okay, so guys, it is... I'm going to first talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel is going on a summer vacation, and he's handing his mic for somebody to fill in, there's sushi, guys, but he is letting Rosie O'Donnell fill in for his show while he's gone. And Rosie, to me, is a has-been, and Rosie, it's for ratings because people will watch, because Rosie O'Donnell is not funny anymore. She's unhinged. She moved to Ireland. She gave up on her country over a president that won by a landslide. So, more people support Donald Trump than they do Rosie O'Donnell. So I just want, some people think it's casting for ratings and controversy. Others think it's just leaning into politics. And late night shouldn't be about politics. You can make fun of the president like Johnny Carson and Jay Leno used to. They used to always make fun of Bill Clinton, or Jay Leno especially. But this is a stunt to have, she moved to Ireland, and her daughter, Chelsea, is in jail. So she didn't just step away from Hollywood. She picked up, she left the country, and still somehow said, yeah, I'll fill in for Jimmy Kimmel. That's like quitting a job, moving to another state, and still coming back to run the meeting. Bitch, we don't want you on TV. Rosie O'Donnell is a has-been in Hollywood. Nobody wants to see Rosie O'Donnell. Now, her daughter, Chelsea, is in jail, and her daughter, Chelsea, is in jail for multiple arrests in 2024. She has charges tied to drug possession, methamphetamine, child neglect, probation violations. Her probation was revoked and she was sentenced to jail. So right now she's serving prison time. So who does Rosie O'Donnell is filling in for Jimmy Kimmel, and at the same time her daughter's in Hollywood? Hollywood really does not believe in quiet. Nobody gives a fuck about Rosie O'Donnell. Sorry. Anyways, now let's see what President Trump's children are doing, all right, who she's always talking about. Donald Trump Jr., he works in the Trump Organization. He runs part of the family business. He's the political commentator. He's very active in conservative media and speaking events. Ivanka Trump, who is beautiful, she was a former White House advisor during Trump's first presidency. She ran fashion and lifestyle businesses under her name. She's now more focused on her family life and private business, stepping back from politics. She's beautiful. We love Ivanka. And then Eric Trump is the executive vice president of the Trump Organization, and he helps manage the family's real estate empire alongside Don Jr. Tiffany Trump is more private. She did go to law school, guys. And she mostly stays out of politics and business spotlight, but you'll always see her standing there supporting her father. And Barron Trump is still in school, college age. So who was the better parent, Donald Trump or Rosie? And now Rosie thinks she's something because she got her face done, and then wants to talk about it. Girl, you moved to Ireland and you should have stayed there because America was happier. And now that you're back, it feels like the Wicked Witch of the West returned. So we used to be fans of Rosie O'Donnell, but she's just so annoying with God, for somebody to sit on TikTok, you don't stop it, shut up. And Jimmy Kimmel, you're not funny either. On to another subject, guys, and this is the tipping in places, every place. So the tipping, as far as I'm concerned, tipping culture has gotten out of control. And yesterday after work, I found myself going to the store, and then I walked to a local restaurant down the street on Monroe. It's called the Taco Spot, and I really enjoy their food since I've moved in here. It's actually convenient more than anything, and I didn't feel like cooking yesterday. It's really hot out there. So you turn the stove or the gas, not gas, I have electric, but you turn the electric on and you just feel it. So yeah, I stopped at this restaurant, and you walk in, there's a counter, and then the cooks are all in the back, but they have little kiosks where you can place your order. So I quickly, and I'm good with this stuff because, like I said, I am a waiter in a restaurant, but I placed my order, and then it was time to pay. So I'm like, let me pay in cash because it was $23.95, and I'm like trying to wave a staff member, and nobody acknowledged me. Okay, no big deal, whatever. So I pulled out my phone and I paid with my Apple Pay. And then it had, this was the killing part. It had the audacity to ask me for a tip. And if I could have typed in, hell no, I would have, but I said to myself, hell no. Why am I, there was not one human interaction except the person saying number 6 and putting it on the counter and walking away. So that was the taco spot right down the street, and that's fine. But I'm not going to tip for what? I wanted to pay in cash. I couldn't because nobody acknowledged me. Nobody said hi when I walked in. So no, I'm not tipping. Now my mom had her driveway done, and she went to go pay, and it had a spot for a tip. And I am so glad she put no. They're doing you the tipping culture has really gotten out of control. So do not, and for to-go orders, I will tip. If the people are really nice, I'll stand there, and usually I actually feel bad, so I will tip. But since there was no interaction with anybody except the guy saying number 6, table 6, didn't even bring it to the table. No tips. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go out and eat my food and enjoy it, okay? But yes, guys, so that is a really big pet peeve. But also, I do also want to inform you that when you do go to a restaurant and you have a server and you do have that server take care of you, that server does have to tip out a percentage of your bill to a bartender, a busboy, maybe a host, maybe a food runner, maybe a cook, who knows? So if you order food to go and you don't tip on that food to go, your server is losing money. Not much. And you don't tip on that? Yeah, they're losing money. So just so you know, you got to think about that server. I'm going to run up. I had a table run up a 4 people, $257 bill. They had at least 120 of that was to go. But the woman was so nice, and she tipped me 25% on the bill. And not. But if I didn't get that tip on that, because I didn't get that tip, if she decided, she could have very well said, oh, well, I ain't taking on no motherfucking to-go order. I would have been screwed. And I worried. I was like, oh, shit. But it worked out. But in all reality, a lot of people don't think that they should. But in all reality, you should. So anyways, guys, yes, this is and has been episode 3 of The Neal Deal. We thank you for joining us. We have our Sunday Fun Day shirt on today because it is Sunday and it is a fun day. So thank you guys for joining me on my hit podcast, The Neal Deal. And have a blessed day. And we're going to see you again soon because, like, I just can't shut the fuck up.